Hello and welcome to this video on how to build an assignment within your class in Showbie. So the first thing we need to do is we need to navigate to our class. So here's my new class. And now I'm going to make myself an assignment. I'm going to select the folder into which I want that assignment to go. So I'm going to select classwork. And now I'm going to come up to our spanner menu and I'm going to go to new assignment. Assignment's a bit of a misnomer. Assignment doesn't mean I give you something, you do the work, you hand it back to me as the teacher and I grade it. It can mean that, but it can also mean class materials or simply all the things that you need for your lesson that you're going to share with your students and that they are going to interact with. So don't be put off by the name assignment. So let's imagine that we are studying, I don't know, the Great Fire of London. And this is going to be our title of our assignment. It's really useful to give a description here because later on when you start to use feedback and marking and maybe you use the AI feature reads back to this description. So lesson materials about it can be as complex or as simple as you like. And I'm just going to leave mine as that. You can set a due date for your assignment, but you don't have to. So if this is simply classwork and you don't need it to be handed in at a certain time, you can turn this off. If it's homework maybe, and you want it to be handed in by a certain date, then click on this button, turn it green, and then click here where the lettering is blue. You can then choose the date that you want this to be handed in at and the time. So let's just say our lesson, it's not loving my mouse. There we go. Let's just say my lesson is finishing at 11. And so I can select 11. I can also select grading format. By and large, custom entry is the most flexible, but depending on your circumstances, you might want to change that to just points or complete or incomplete, or simply not have a grade at all. The student access is always editable, so that's the default. But you can change the access for the students. And you have a number of options. So you might be sending them something that you only want them to view on, and you can't edit or write on that particular content. You might be setting them up some work for later in the week. You want them to be able to see that that's coming their way, but you want to lock it so that they can't get in it until you teach that class. And likewise hidden. You might make an assignment for 3 weeks' time. So you're going to hide that from the students and you're going to release it as and when you need it. Speaking of releasing, you can schedule your release. So let's just go back for one moment. Currently, our access is editable. So let's change that. Let's say currently our access is locked. What we're going to do is we're going to add to the schedule and we're going to have it open automatically when our lesson starts. So we'll click on Add a Schedule. And we want to change it to editable. We want to change it to be editable for later on this week. So we're teaching this class on Friday maybe, and maybe we're teaching them at, 2 o'clock. Maybe my lesson starts at 2. And so I can press save here. And now it will show me the schedule. It is currently locked. And on the 12th at 2, it will become editable for my students. I can add 3 things to the schedule, so I could lock it again and make it editable, or I could make it view only, or what have you. So you can only have 3 things in this schedule for this particular assignment. When you're happy with all your scheduling, etc., you can press save and you can create. And now we have created our assignment.